Hello everybody, my name is Jenna and I'm a biokineticist inside Stretch Pilates at Core Medical Center in the Colony Hillcrest as well as in Flanders Mall on Edgecombe.
Hi everyone, I'm Rochelle. I'm a biokineticist at JD Biokinetics at Core in Durban. We're going to be talking today about patellofemoral pain, which is basically just a fancy way of saying kneecap pain.
And it's something that's quite commonly experienced, so either you or a loved one has probably had a niggle on the front of the knee at some point in their lives. So we're going to give you all the tools needed to try and address this discomfort and try and rid you of this horrible niggle.
Okay, so we're going to be focusing our exercises on strengthening into the quad. Then we're going to do some exercises for your glute med as well as for your hamstrings. So the first one, you're going to do your quad setting. You're going to place either a rolled up towel or a ball underneath the knee. And you can let your patient rest their knee on it, flexing the foot. You're going to ask them to press the knee into the ball or the rolled up towel. At the same time, they're contracting their quads as much as they can. The heel lifts up off the floor. You hold it here for 10 seconds and you can feel the quad contracting. After 10 seconds, they get to rest their heel and they get to relax their quad. You'll do it again. So press that heel down, activate into the quad, lifting that heel up off the floor. Hold it for 10 seconds. Try and do this 10 times through and you'll feel that the quad starts to really get tired at around rep 5. And release it. Okay, and then we'll move on to your...
Cool, we can. I want to also add something here. So I want you to think of two things that are happening at the same time. Not only are you trying to get this little like dewdrop muscle activated, that's all VMO, you want to activate him because he traps the kneecap, but you also want to imagine that you're ridding the muscle and the tendon of all its fluid, almost like you're squeezing a sponge until all the fluid goes out, and then you relax and you're re-energizing and blood flow is coming back to that area for healing. So those two like mental concepts, activating him and then squeezing all the fluid out of the knee.
Cool. Yeah. Then we're going to move on to your back. So we're going to do a pelvic curl. The heels are about 1.5 feet away from your glutes if it does not hurt the knee. You're going to start by rolling the spine up. You're squeezing into your hamstrings, so almost have a feeling of pulling the body towards the heels. You continue to lift the vertebra up one at a time. Your focus is on the hamstrings. Your glutes will work at the top. Hold it here. And then as you start to roll down, you're still getting that feeling of sliding the body towards the heels. And then you will release the pelvis and you'll release the hamstrings so they get to relax here. Continue, so go again, tilt. As you do this, you want to make sure that the knees aren't falling in. They're staying in line with the hips and in line with the toes, pulling the body towards the heels. You can feel the hamstrings really activate. You can do this without actually activating in the hamstrings, so they can be quite relaxed. Yeah, you can see that they're quite spongy here. Then pull the body towards the heels and you can feel how much they actually start to activate. And then roll back down.
And you cramp.
Yeah. And release. Awesome. Anything to add?
How many do we want to do?
So let's focus on doing about 8 to 10. And with each of the exercises, you can do them 3 times through. Okay. Then let's go on to your side plank. Right, so
I should have got you to do it.
Focusing on the glute med here, pressing out of the bottom shoulder. Bearing in mind that when you are focusing on one part of the body to rehab, you don't want to start causing problems in another part of the body. So making sure that the body is in correct alignment. Pressing out of the left shoulder. You're going to lift the hips up, keeping the hips in line. So you don't want your top hip to roll forward or backwards. If you were to put a society stick into the top hip, it needs to come out at the same place in the bottom hip. Lower the pelvis down, little tap on the floor, lift up, squeezing into the glutes. You should feel your bottom glute working. You can even think of pressing that bottom knee further down into the floor and lower back down. You can do 10 to 15 of these, lift and hold. And when they start to get easier, you can even lift the top leg up to a hover and lower back down to load onto that bottom single leg. And lower. Nice. Anything to add, Jen?
A little kick of the leg over here.
Yeah.
So holding it contracted and then playing with mobility elsewhere will really challenge that thumb.
Nice.
A thigh stretch.
Yeah, let's do a thigh stretch. So you can grab a rolled up towel here as well. Just because the knee may get a little bit sore as you're doing the stretch, you're going to place the towel behind the kneecap, and then you just gently pull the ankle towards the glute, making sure that when you are pulling the ankle towards the glute that you're not twisting the knee. So sometimes you see that people are lifting the heel quite high and actually there's a lot of pressure on the knee, so you want to keep in line with the thigh. Pressing the hips forward and pushing the knee back, and you should feel a lovely stretch along the quad here. Hold it for about 30 seconds, then you can have a little break and you can do it again on each side.
Awesome. I think if you start with that, you're well on your way to feeling better in this area, but you've got a way to go. With any injury, it's not completely injury proof if you start to up your mileage. So I would say get cracking on that, and then based on individual weaknesses and needs, you do need a more thorough, in-depth program to take you to the next step, so that when you're running, when you're hiking, when you're doing step-ups, the knee has integrity, and you get that from a strong bum and a well-behaved ankle. So that's where you have some foresight into what would come next. All the best. Good luck.